Hello and welcome to our first podcast by the Mystic Sisters. And in the series, we're going to be talking about magical and spiritual topics. And our first topic today will be about Lionsgate, which is occurring on the 8th of August. And we've chosen this time for our first podcast as it's a powerful time for manifestation, so we can make the most of this energy. And now Kelly's going to tell us about the Lionsgate.
The Lionsgate, when it lands on August 8th, I instantly get this vision, and it's like I see the Strength card in tarot, and that also represents the number 8. It has an infinity symbol over the head of the woman and the lion. On the original card, it's above their heads, and that also means 8, and it talks about abundance and manifestations, and it happens to have a lion in this card with the girl, and it means bringing the masculine and feminine energies together. But you first have to come into union with yourself. This is what Spirit keeps telling me, that you have to come into union with yourself. So you first need to be aligned with your masculine and feminine energy in yourself before you can go into a sacred union with a divine counterpart. A lot of healing is going on right now. Rest and self-care is important. Galactic energies are coming through at this time, and it's funny because when we started this podcast, I kept telling Sarah I could see galactic energies around her and me, and we're definitely seeing a lot of that right now. And there's higher truths and wisdoms that are coming through, and you need to stand in your power. Also, I feel the infinity symbol is important. That keeps coming through to me too. And it means infinite abundance in our infinite selves and wisdom. The infinity symbol also on the Strength card in tarot, it also means as above, so below. But more importantly, which keeps coming to me, as within, so without. What you feel right now is what you're manifesting. So it's a powerful time to try to raise your vibration. Be mindful of your thoughts and energies. You can start manifesting now until the Lionsgate portal. Prepare for new beginnings. Also, something else that kept coming through to me was the star card in the tarot deck. I kept getting visions of that, and that happens to be number 17, which breaks down to 8, and it also relates to Lionsgate. I feel that the star in the picture is the Sirius star, because the Sirius energy is coming through right now, and it's related to spirituality, balance, destiny, fortune, wishes, and manifesting too. And I feel that the Lionsgate has strong ties with ancient Egypt. I keep getting ancient Egypt in my visions. And you can see traces of this in the Strength card in the tarot decks. I'm strongly connected, I feel like, to ancient Egypt. And in some of the decks, Isis is in the star card. So the goddess energy is coming through. And also the 3 stars I feel the most significant right now are Lyra, Sirius, and Orion. In some depictions of the star card, they show the Sphinx in the star card, which is a pharaoh's head and a lion's body. It just happens that you can clearly see the Sirius star very clear near the Sphinx in ancient Egypt and the 3 pyramids in Giza on the Lionsgate on August 8th. And I feel the ancient Egyptians built the pyramid and the Sphinx specifically according to the placement of the stars to receive activations and light codes. I feel they did rituals underneath the 3 pyramids on this day. They had water running through the pyramids in a certain formation. And I feel something that was hidden, and not all secrets have been found. Some still lie buried underground. To unlock this puzzle, you must find the key. That's what came through to me. So there's something about ancient Egyptian trying to rise again. And also the waters that run through, they hold certain frequencies. And I feel also the Lion's Gate energy is trying to talk about the twin flame journey activations on this day. But most importantly, the activation is within yourself. Nothing is outside of yourself. There's nothing to search for. When you stop searching and you come into union with yourself, you will then be ready for a union. And I keep seeing visions of a rose. And a rose is very significant for that day as well, representing the feminine energy and the lion representing masculine. So taking a bath with rose petals, having like a sacred bath or rose oil, it would be good to help purify yourself. And it's very important to keep grounding your energy at this time because the energies are intense and they knock you out of balance. And this has happened to me all the time. I feel that I constantly have to keep grounding myself. It's like I get knocked out of alignment. I got to go back into grounding and I have to keep remembering that. And it's hard because sometimes you get trapped in that 3D, the ego, and you're like, wait, what's going on? Or you're picking up other people's energies and it's like, wait, I got to ground again. And the other thing is I kept getting these little riddles saying ancient Egypt shall rise again. And with all that was lost will come again, and the dead will rise again. A lost city and secrets will be found. So that's a lot of the stuff that kept coming up, but a lot about ancient Egypt and the Sirius star.
That's really interesting. Yeah, a lot of people connect the Lion's Gate with the Syrians, the extraterrestrial people, and as their appearance is very similar to lion's energy, and because there's a portal energy on the 8th of the 8th, we are able to receive this healing energy from other dimensions as the portal is open on that date. And so we may feel the presence of extraterrestrials around us more closely on that day, and also leading up to it, because the Lion's Gate is actually a 16-day portal, but with the 8th of August being the central, being the peak of it, but it actually runs from the 28th of July until the 12th of August. Around that time, we're able to receive the benefits of this energy during that time. The ancient Egyptians were very wise people. They were very knowledgeable for their time, and there's a lot of theories to suggest that the ancient Egyptians were working with the extraterrestrials as they had this very advanced knowledge for their time. So it's very interesting that you saw the connection with the Egyptians and with Lion's Gate, and also with the Syrians as well. So this is a very powerful time. We're working with very higher dimensional energies during this time.
Definitely. It's coming through. What do you think would be a good idea as far as how to tap into energies for people? Like, what do you think are different ways that would be good?
I feel that during this time, it is very important to reflect. Self-reflection is very important because it helps us to become clear on our goals, because this is a very important time for manifestation. There's very powerful energies, but first it's important that we are clear about what we want to manifest, specific about our goals, about what we want to achieve during this time, and more specific about what we want to heal as well. Because if we feel unfocused during this time, it will be difficult to make use of these energies. So meditation, I think, is very important, and also journaling, because journaling can help us to make sense sometimes of what's in our thoughts. We may have different thoughts racing, and it may be difficult for us to focus really. By journaling, we're getting all out of our thoughts and our emotions onto paper, and it helps us to make more sense and clarify what we need to heal, what we need to release, and what we want to focus on.
That's a good idea. Do you think there's any specific meditations that come to mind when you think of the Lion's Gate?
I think that heart chakra healing is very important, as this is a time of healing, and Lionsgate is connected to the heart chakra. There's a connection with that energy because we're clearing. This is a good time for clearing, and if we're working with the heart chakra, we can clear that energy so we can attract more abundance. And also a block that many people have with attracting abundance is feeling that they're not good enough, feeling that they're not worthy. And so heart chakra meditations and healing in general, healing meditations is important. It helps us to heal, it helps us to see our worth. I think self-love meditations will be a very good option because it will help us with loving ourselves and seeing our worth. And also, as you were saying about grounding, about feeling, especially with these intense energies, I think that grounding meditations would be very beneficial as well, to help us stay focused so we can manifest. Also abundance meditations as well, where we visualize what we want to manifest in our lives. And if you can, doing this throughout these 16 days, I feel that this will help us to be consistent and to make use of this energy. If you do an abundance or healing meditation for every day of these 16 days, I feel that would be very powerful.
That's a good idea. Some things were coming to me too while you were talking. I was thinking of like Reiki healing to help maybe get rid of some of the blockages, that we might have inside of us. What do you think of that? Like some doing maybe some self-Reiki or watching Reiki videos, things like that?
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea, because we all have ability to heal ourselves, and if we're not able to do Reiki, if we don't have a Reiki qualification, there are plenty of healers that can help us, and there are videos who send Reiki, and then we can just watch, relax while we're meditating and receive the Reiki.
That's a good idea. I was also feeling this need to say, like, to talk about making sure you protect your energy at this time, like really calling in for angelic assistance too, to make sure that you're protecting your energy at this time, because it's important, because you're so susceptible right now. We're trying to go back to like our truer selves and things, and it feels like since we're doing so much healing, we're very vulnerable right now to other energies. So protection seems really important too right now.
Yeah, because as you say, we're very vulnerable, and the portal is very open, so it's very powerful energies come through, but there's always a balance of light and dark, so it is important that we protect our energy from any negative energies that could come through. And also with healing as well, because we're releasing a lot of old emotions and we may be focusing on the past a lot, so it is important that we are protecting our energy when we are releasing this negative energy, and we are protecting our energy as well.
That's a good idea. And I keep thinking of baths, like purifying baths, like salt baths, any kind of bath to kind of get rid of those toxins and to release that energy, because that's a really good way. I've been finding for myself that helps me. Everyone's different. Some like to go outside to do it, but whenever I take purifying baths, it helps me release a lot of like old stagnant energy.
Yeah, that's really true. Salt baths, they help to cleanse our auras, and so it will help us with releasing these emotions, releasing negativity, and protecting our auras.
That's a good idea. And I've actually been using different waters. Like, I went to this one place that had some healing water called Sarasota Springs, and it's supposed to be more healing. They kind of compared it to Glastonbury in a sense, but I've been actually using some of that water in my bath, and I've been using Reiki symbols to bless it. But if you don't know Reiki, you can just bless it. You could just say, I'm blessing this water, and you can make your bath more sacred and say, this is healing water, and you could attune it to what you want the bath to do for you. Like, this is going to heal me. This is going to, you could just tell the water what you want to do.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. Yeah, even if you don't have access to springs, if you could use water from your tap that you bless, you can help raise the vibration of the water through saying blessings and prayers.
Yeah. And you can use different things if you wanted besides like the salt. You could use sea salt, but you can even put like oils in it if you want. Maybe like rose oil to raise your vibration, or even crystals you could put around your bath, some candles or something, and just to make whatever makes you feel more comfortable.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because I do that. I like to add sometimes I'll make it simple. I'll just bless the water and use salt, but then sometimes I'll put a little bit of oil with it too,
Yeah, that sounds really relaxing. I've also got the message about breaking old patterns and past life healing, because as well as our current life, with releasing emotions from the past and our current life, I also feel that this is a good time for past life healing, because sometimes our blockages in life are not always from this lifetime. They can be from past lives. As this is a very powerful time, and we can make use of this energy to clear out blocks from past lives that may be affecting us now. So you may want to do past life meditation during this time to help you with releasing. And it may be that you want to focus on a particular issue. There may be a fear or blockage that you have that you think may be past life related, and through doing a past life meditation will help you with releasing this energy. And also working with your angels and your spirit guides, asking them to help you to release this energy, ask them to help you cut the cords. And you may want to visualize a cord, and you may want to visualize an energetic cord that's attaching you to this trauma, and ask your spirit guides, your angels, to help you cut this cord. And you can imagine a sword or scissors, and you can use that to cut the energy, and you'll feel an emotional release. And you may want to do this a few times, and you may want to do it for the full 16 days, and over time you'll feel a shift within you. You'll feel these emotions being released over the time.
I really like that. And you're really experienced with it because you took a past life course. What about for people that aren't that familiar with their past lives and they're not sure, they're just in a state of confusion and they're not sure where it's coming from? How can they find something for past lives, to help them, or a meditation or something?
There are lots of meditations on YouTube, past life meditations, that you may want to try. It's important to listen to your intuition. So if you're feeling that intuitively that this is from a past life, then it's probably right. If the idea just comes to you without thinking it, and you'll know intuitively that this is true. So you can start off with past life meditations on YouTube. This is a way of accessing. There are people who do past life regressions like I do, but an easy way of starting off with this kind of work is through looking on YouTube and finding past life healing meditations. And there are some short ones, some gentle ones. There are more intense, longer ones. But you may want to start off with the short, gentler meditation to help you with this. And you can even do your own meditation where you can call on your guides and you can just ask them, please help me release any negative patterns from past lives that are affecting me now. And you may want to visualize a contract. It could be a contract that you've signed in a past life. Visualize this contract and just see, you could just tear this contract up and say, I'm nulling and voiding any negative past life patterns that are impacting my current life. I'm cutting the cords, releasing and letting go of the past so I can move forward in my current life. You may want to say something like this to help you with breaking these vows.
Wow, that's really powerful. Did you ever think about making a past life meditation?
Yes, actually, been thinking about it recently. I'll try and record one soon if you want to try doing this at home.
That's a really good idea, because I feel that a lot of my past life stuff is coming up for me right now, and it makes everything else overwhelming. Like it's like you've got this life and your past life, so it becomes intense,
Sometimes it can take a while for us to work out whether something is past life related, because we may have a pattern that keeps reappearing in our lives continually, and we don't know where it's coming from. We don't know why we've attracted this, and it's often because of past life. Like there's a lot of people who may have issues with attracting abundance throughout their lives, and they don't know why. And it's a possibility that it's past life related, and it could be that they lived in poverty in a past life, and so it's difficult to attract abundance in this life. So this is an issue that they need to heal in order to move forward, because if you can't find an explanation for it in this life, then it could be past life related.
It makes so much sense. You just reminded me of past lives where I was a nun and also a high priestess, and I took vows of not only celibacy but poverty. So people could have done that too. They could have taken certain vows, maybe of poverty, or things like that as well.
Yeah, because they are. Sometimes people may have taken vows as a nun, or it could be that in a past life they may have been rich and they may have witnessed people who were poor, and they may have felt guilty, and they may have taken a vow then that they would experience lifetime being poor because they feel guilty about seeing other people, when really we have our own journeys, and each life we choose different lessons to help us to evolve. But if a pattern keeps repeating, it can keep us feeling blocked. So it could be that you've taken a vow like this, or it could be that you've been poor for many lifetimes, and it's difficult for you to let go of that, because it's a pattern that you're used to, and it's difficult for you to see a way of attracting abundance in this life.
That makes sense too. So if people that are just beginning on this journey and they're not sure what to do, they can either just watch, like you said, past life meditations. Is there any ones that you would recommend for people?
I can't think off the top of my head, but if you research on YouTube, you may want to look up past life healing meditation and look for one that you feel drawn to. When you scroll down, look for one you feel drawn to, and if you're new to it, you might want to start off with a shorter one, and as an introduction, and as you become more knowledgeable in it, you might want to move on to a more in-depth and longer meditation.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to yours, because I really need help with my past life, because my past life is mainly the one that keeps coming to surface is when I was a high priestess. So I made vows of celibacy and poverty, but that one keeps coming up right now. So there's stuff about that, and then a past life I had with someone, and we had a lot of karma. So it's like I think I have more than one that's trying to come up, and it's been difficult for me lately. You know what I mean? Trying to process it. Yeah. A lot of emotions have been coming through.
Yeah, they must be popping up now because they're relevant for you now, because these issues, these past life issues, are stopping you from moving forward with current goals that you're going to be, because you're moving on to a new chapter of your life, and these past life vows may be affecting you moving on to that new chapter and welcoming in more abundance into your life. So they're coming to surface now so you can heal them, and especially during this time they're coming up now so you can heal them and make the most of this energy so you can move forward into that new phase of your life.
Thanks for saying that. It's been really difficult too, because I find myself, when you're ready to move on to that next phase and you feel like your old phase, it's like something is kind of, a part of you's dying. Like I'm almost mourning my old self now because I'm feeling different. The more I've been doing more healing, that it's almost a little sad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. It can be difficult, because all change can be difficult, even good change. And when you're healing, it's like you're releasing past versions of yourself. You're taking away the layers, and it can be difficult to say goodbye to that version of yourself and to open up to a new version of yourself. It can be scary.
That's what I've been going through a lot lately. I've been crying a lot about it. I've been getting really emotional with it, because it's like saying goodbye to an old me. It's also saying goodbye to like old people as well in my life. It's like having to close a chapter, And I think it's bringing up some abandonment issues that still need to be healed as well. So it's like, it's hard for me letting that go. So there's been a lot of crying with it. And it's just weird. It's like I'm just releasing it and saying goodbye, but it's hard. You know, I've been kind of like, not myself a little bit lately, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it is hard when sometimes we don't always know where these emotions come from. We just seem to wake up with them one day, and it's hard to shift them. So this is a good time to release these emotions, because sometimes we can hold back these emotions. We stop ourselves from feeling them because we don't want to feel them. But it is important that we experience these emotions. Try not to judge them too much, but allow yourself to feel these emotions as a way of releasing them, because you're cleansing them from your body.
It's funny you say that, because my counselor told me the same exact words last night. He told me to stop trying to suppress the feelings that are coming up, because I'm like, but I just want to feel good. And he's like, but don't deny yourself the experience to try to heal. He's like, allow it to come up and stop being afraid of your emotions. Because I think I get scared, like my emotions are going to overtake me and I'm not going to be able to. It's like a river that's going to come through and they're just going to take me away. There goes Kelly. What happened? Her emotions just dragged her off into the ocean. She's gone. I'm very dramatic.
It sounds like a wise man, though, and it sounds like that's an important message for you at the moment. That's why
he's very wise. He even like knows my spirit guide in a sense, because my spirit guide came through too. And I'm like, whoa, you know, it's powerful sessions. But he just kept telling me, goes, think of yourself as a vase, and all your thoughts and emotions that are in it are not all yours. He goes, some could be others that you absorbed, or don't own everything. Just feel it and let it go. And that kind of hit me too. And I'm like, yeah, he said, be the observer in my mind so I could see what's going on, but not being so emotional about it. He goes, see what's trying to come up. He goes, maybe there's things that are just trying to help you. And he goes, just see it and watch it like a movie. And it started making sense when he said it like that, you know?
Yeah, sometimes we just detach ourselves from emotions, feel them, but don't overanalyze them. Just like you said, experience them like a movie.
Yeah. I think it's because it's that sometimes I get over analytical and I want to dissect everything. Like, this must mean something that's coming up, you know what I mean? Or I'll intuitively hear a song, but I'm not sure where it's coming from. So I might assume, or, you know, I'll just try to dissect everything and just be like, oh, well, this must mean something. But sometimes if you're not sure of where it's coming from, it's better just to sit with it instead of assuming or, you know, staying attached to something. Just kind of let things flow more. And that's like a big lesson for me.
Yeah, it can be difficult to detach from our feelings because we are the experience and we're feeling them. But it's important that we don't analyze them too much. Just know that they're not who we are. They don't define us. We're just feeling, experience them. Just allow them to flow like the river. They come to us one day, but know that it's not going to stay with us forever. Tomorrow could be a better day.
I like that. And you know what else it reminded me of? A lot of ancestral stuff that's been passed to us. So a lot of the feelings and emotions that we get, some of it is in our DNA that we're trying to clear out. Like some thoughts that we get might not even be ours. It might be just the projections in our DNA from ancestors too that we're trying to like release.
Yeah, that's really interesting, because we do carry a lot of emotions from our ancestors, and we are affected by things that happened a long time ago. With a lot of spiritual people, our ancestors, they may have been witches, and we feel that now. We may be afraid to speak out. We may be afraid to embrace our intuitive abilities, because it's something, it's this fear that's been carried down through generations.
That's true. It is. It's been carried down, or even the fact that, like, some of us, like, I feel like I was killed in a past life for that, for like thinking I was a witch or doing witchcraft and things. So I think a lot of us are carrying that from past lives and what's held in our ancestry. And I think a lot of us are trying to break ancestral patterns around this time, that we're trying to break those old patterns because it's been handed down to us. They kind of raised us that way because they didn't know any better. And we're trying to break those old patterns.
Yeah, that's so true. These are patterns that have been going for a long time through many generations, and this trauma, this pain has been passed down, and we're still feeling it now. So it is difficult to break free from this ancestral trauma.
That's true. And a lot of what's going on right now, we could, if you look, like you were saying, one way to find out what's going on right now, to see whether it's past life or what's going on in your life now, is to see what keeps being repeated. It could be a repeated cycle in your family. If you look back and see what's going on in your life and other family members around you, it could be an ancestral pattern that's going on too that you need to release as well.
Yeah, and if it's not clear to you where those patterns come from, it could be ancestral, it could be, like you say, or it could be past life.
Yeah, exactly. So there's just a lot going on right now. Seriously, it just seems like, I think that there's so much clearing and it's getting overwhelming right now because of this Lionsgate, the importance of it. So we could get on the right path, we got to clear all this out first.
Yeah, well, the number 8, tuning on its side, is the infinity symbol, and as you said earlier on the tarot card, the strength card is the infinity symbol. This energy is not just affecting us here now, but there's the past, and then there's also the future. So when we meditate and we send out healing, we're not just sending healing to ourselves right here, right now, but to the past, to our past lives, but also to our future selves as well, if we're sending out the energy in both directions. And we may want to visualize an infinity symbol as we're sending out this healing, because this sounds very associated with number 8 and with Lionsgate. So I feel that there's a good idea to make use of the energy of the infinity symbol.
I like that. When you say to do that, would you draw out the infinity symbol like in a certain way, or just envision it maybe over you?
Whichever way I think is best for you, whichever way you feel comfortable. You may want to draw it out as you're meditating, or you may want to visualize it over you in your energy, or you may want to even visualize the world and put the infinity symbol on it.
I like how you mentioned that it's not only affecting the now, it's healing our past, but helping our future, because my spirit guide was just telling me that the other day. He's like, everything you do now is affecting your future. So remember that, keep that in mind, that try to stay, more positive, and try to keep remembering all this healing you're doing is helping you in your next life too.
Yeah, that's really interesting. It's going to be a very powerful day. There's a new moon around the time of the Lionsgate, so the energy is very powerful because new moons are connected with new beginnings and abundance, manifestation. So there is a very powerful energy this year as well.
That's true. And the lion reminds me too of strength, like standing in your own power. Like, remember that, because a lot of us, like me and you, like being empaths, in the past, we had issues, because I know I struggled with it, like not having clear boundaries and things. So it's really important for us to remember to have strong boundaries, to stand in our boundaries, and maybe even to call back our power as we do some of these meditations. Like I was doing that this morning, and that made me feel better, because sometimes when you're feeling a little bit scattered, your energy gets scattered in places of maybe traumatic things or different experiences you had where you lost your power to people, from not having clear boundaries. So it's a good time to call your power back too.
Yeah, because we all have potential to create abundance and to create new starts, but we need to remember our power, because we so easily give our power away to other people. Spirit wants us to know that we can take that power back. We all have this ability to attract abundance, but over the years we may have been conditioned to give our power away to other people all the time. We can draw on the energy, the strength of the lion to help us bring back our power. You may feel a connection to the lion's energy around this time. You may be seeing lots of lions. You may have a lion spirit guide that comes through. But we are being called to work with, all of us, to work with the energy of the lion so we can take back our power. And often we've been conditioned to believe that the power is a negative thing, and it's what we do with this power. There are people who use power for bad, but we can use power for good. It's how we intend to work with this energy, and the lion comes through with a loving energy. If we are connecting with our heart and we're making these decisions, we can make decisions that are right for us, that is important. We don't go to ego, we come from the heart instead.
I like that. That's really beautiful. Yeah, I feel that too with the lion's energy. It's very beautiful energy that's coming through, like you said, reminding us of strength, but the energy feels really good. But at the same time, I'm noticing like fear in people. I think that, and this is coming from more of people not in the spiritual community, or people that might just start that are starting on the awakening journey. I think they're getting nervous, and some are trying to shun some of their abilities. And I'm just trying to remind people like it's okay that feel that way. Because I remember long ago, I felt that way. I was kind of scared when I started on the journey, but it's really a good thing. And I think that there's other people out there that fear it. How there's people that they're not really like fans of like tarot cards when you mention that, or, I have a lot of friends that don't even understand me or what I'm doing, or like old friends of mine, they just don't resonate with me anymore because I say things like that, and it puts fear in people because they don't know it,
Yeah, people get triggered easily, and if it's something that they don't understand, this can trigger them. It's the trigger is there for us to heal ourselves, but a lot of people are afraid, as you say, and they don't heal themselves. They just avoid these things.
Yeah, because I've always been called to spirituality since a kid. I always felt drawn to like books on spirituality and even tarot cards. I'd see visions in my head as a child. I just remember always seeing them, but I also remember being picked on for that. So I had to hide a lot of that until I became older, until I stood in my power a little bit more. And I'm like, but this is me. I don't want to keep hiding who I am. I like tarot cards. I like spirituality. I love talking about this stuff. This is me. And it took me a while to feel comfortable about that because I was shunned for so long. Like people would just come out and say, they didn't like it or their own opinions on it. And I had to learn, well, their opinions are their opinions. How I feel is how I feel. And I think we got to remember that separation there, that we all live in our own realities that we create. We don't have to take on others' opinions,
Yeah, because it's easy for us to give our power away to people like this, people who try to spread, because they're feeling fear, they try to spread that fear onto us, and it's their issues to deal with. It's not our fear, and there are billions of people on this planet, so we can't all be the same. We all have our own paths, and just because something may not be right for someone else, it doesn't mean that it's not right for us.
Yeah, I was really hurt actually not too long ago. It was probably about 4 months ago. And spirituality, like that's one topic that I always talk about with people. And when you feel like comfortable, you think you find someone you can talk freely about it. And he actually turned on me at one point saying, well, your spirituality is too much, and I think it's taken you down, and maybe you should seek help for it. And it really made me cry, and it hurt my feelings. And it maybe for an instant, I started to question myself, but then I remembered, no, this is his fear. But when you're in the moment, it really hurts your feelings. I don't think people realize sometimes when they talk how they affect people,
Yeah, it's because we're sensitive people as well. We can feel that emotion because people project that fear onto us and we can feel it. So that's why protecting our energy is very important when we are around negative people like this.
You're right. Yeah, definitely with the protection. I've been trying to do that more, remembering and calling on my guides sometimes and my guardian angels when I'm not sure of like, because like I have my own protection routines, but sometimes I'll call in for more protection. Sometimes when I'm just so exhausted, from the day or whatever's going on, I'll even ask my guardian angels, I'll be like, can you just wrap me in your angel wings for right now? I just want you to help me. When you're really exhausted, it's just like help. And you're just like, you can't really do much of a meditation. So please just wrap your angel wings around me. Do you ever get like that?
Yeah. Sometimes we just had enough and we just we just need that protection because we've always got a loving, protective energy from our angels around us. We just need that gentleness sometimes.
Yeah, I do that to my guardian angels and my spirit guides. I'm like, just put your wings around me, please. Can you just hug me right now? I'm going through it. I need your help. But it's a good feeling when you do that because, like, if you don't call sometimes, they're not always going to step in. So you got to remember to, like, they're there and you might as well call on them and ask for the help,
Yeah, because our angels, they work with free will, so they wait for us to ask them before they intervene.
Exactly.
Thank you for watching our first podcast by the Mystic Sisters. We will be back again with more podcasts, and we hope you have a happy Lionsgate.
Take care.